Today in Northern Revolutions, we're going to talk about the Beatles Revolver and specifically the upcoming Super Deluxe box set. So stay tuned. Hey Vinyl community, welcome to Northern Revolutions. I'm Rob. Welcome back if you're returning. Welcome if you're new. Today I want to talk about the Beatles' 7th studio album, Revolver. Funny thing, I recorded this video yesterday because I saw that Ringo had shown on his Instagram the new Revolver Super Deluxe box set. He showed the back. I could zoom in and kind of read what was on it. And so I thought I'm going to talk about what potentially is going to be on the new stereo box set. And then this morning, as I was about to sit down to edit this video, the Beatles announced the Revolver Super Deluxe box set. So I've had to reshoot half of this video, but that's okay. I'm going to talk about the Super Deluxe box set and all the other additions that are coming along with it, what's on it, my thoughts on it. And I'm going to talk about the other versions of Revolver that I currently own. So let's get into it. So what do we know about the upcoming Revolver box set? Well, a couple things. The remixing, re-engineering was headed by Giles Martin, George Martin's son, and Sam O'Kell, the duo that worked on the previous Super Deluxe remasters. One of the things that was a little bit different about this is that Revolver was recorded on 4-track tape, where the subsequent albums were done on 8-track tape. And what that means is you've got half the amount of tracks to work with when they recorded Revolver. So what happened was, you'd record 4 tracks of audio. Could be vocals, guitars, bass, and lead guitar on those 4 tracks. And now you're out of track on the tape. So what you would do is you'd mix those 4 tracks and bounce them down to a single track. So you combine them. And you'd keep repeating that process and just essentially keep layering it and combining and bouncing down mixes down to single tracks. And that presented a complication for Giles and Sam, that they really couldn't isolate the individual instruments to do a proper remix of this album. But Peter Jackson, everyone knows the director from the Get Back documentary, his production company, Wingnut, I guess they developed some demixing technology that Sam and Giles were able to use to deconstruct the bounce down track so that they could isolate the instruments and be able to, play with them as they wanted to. So I guess that's why we've had to wait up until this point to get a Revolver Super Deluxe, because the audio technology didn't exist until now. So on October 28th, when the Revolver Super Deluxe and associated packagings are released, what are we getting? Well, there's a Sam O'Kell, Giles Martin 2014 stereo remix, like they've done with Sgt. Pepper through Abbey Road and Let It Be. There is a 2022 mono transfer of the original mix of the album. I'm a little puzzled by that. It's digital. Okay, I guess. I don't know why we need it. We have the 2014 mono remaster, which is a direct analog transfer of the audio tape directly to vinyl, no digital signal. It wasn't remixed, it was just remastered. It's it's the best that you could get from the day that the album came out. So why do we need another mono transfer? And why do we need one that's digital? Not sure why that's included. Maybe it's because people don't have the 2014 mono mix on vinyl because they're scarce. I've got one. I don't think that's it. I just don't know why they didn't use that mono transfer. Why did they do a new mono transfer? I don't know. I guess maybe we'll see when we get it. There's also a Dolby Atmos remix, which I guess is going to be part of the digital package for those that want the digital experience. So let's take a look at the various different packaging offerings that will be coming out. Now, with respect to the actual, packages that we're going to get. So much like all of the other Super Deluxe box sets, there's CD and vinyl versions. So I'm just going to run down the list here. The first, and I think the best, is the Super Deluxe vinyl version. Yes, I've already pre-ordered it. That's going to contain 4 LPs. The first LP is the new Giles and Sam 2022 stereo remix. The second 2 discs are Revolver sessions. So early rehearsals, demos of the songs, 31 tracks in total. The 4th disc is going to be I'm going to call it the 2022 mono transfer of the original mono mix. That's a mouthful. There's also going to be a 7-inch EP that's going to have Paperback Writer and Rain on each side. So on the first side, it'll be the 2022 stereo mix, and on the second side is the original mono mix. Paperback Writer and Rain was the A-side, B-side from Revolver as singles. This Super Deluxe vinyl box set's going to be 180 gram vinyl, half-speed mastered. It's going to have a 100-page book with an intro by Paul and an intro by Giles Martin. And the rest is written by Kevin Howlett, who's the Beatles historian that did the incredible books that came with all the other box sets. Very impressive. So that's the Super Deluxe vinyl box set. There's going to be a Super Deluxe CD box set. Same content, 5 CDs, the stereo mix, 2 session CDs, the mono version of the album, and then the EP. It's going to have the same 100-page book housed in a very similar slipcase. Same content. I'm glad that, like with Let It Be, they did the content the same. For anyone that watched my Super Deluxe box sets review earlier on in my channel, I complained about White Album, Abbey Road, and Sgt. Pepper, that the CD versions were different than the vinyl versions, and the vinyl versions got shortchanged on every one of them. So I'm glad that the releases are harmonized across both formats. So after the Super Deluxe vinyl and Super Deluxe CD, you've got the Special Edition 2 CD, and that's just going to be 1 CD of the 2022 stereo mix and 1 CD of sessions highlight. Of the 31 tracks that were outtakes and alternate takes and demos, they've selected highlights of them. And there will also be a 40-page book with that. Then there's the Special Edition vinyl. It's just 1 LP. It's the 2022 stereo mix. It's half-speed mastered on 180 gram vinyl. Then there's a Special Edition CD, which is just 1 CD of the 2022 stereo mix. And then there's a picture disc on vinyl, very much like all the other Super Deluxe box sets. So in looking at the track listings for the 2 sessions discs that are included in the box set, I thought to myself, I wonder how many of these we've heard before. Everyone should remember the Anthology project from the mid-90s. This is Anthology 2, which covers the Revolver era. And I wondered if any of the Revolver sessions that are on Revolver are also included in the Revolver box set. And guess what? They are. All of the Revolver tracks that are on here are in the Revolver Super Deluxe box set. I have notes here. I don't normally read notes, but I have to for this. The first one that's on Anthology 2 is Tomorrow Never Knows, Take 1, which is also the first track of the first Sessions disc in the Revolver box set. Got to Get You Into My Life, Take 5, is the third track on the first Sessions disc. And Your Bird Can Sing, Take 2, is the 13th track on the first disc. Taxman, Take 11, which is the second track on the second Sessions disc. I'm Only Sleeping, The Rehearsal, and Take 1, which are tracks 3 and 4 on the second disc. Those are all of the Revolver era tracks that appeared on Anthology 2, and all of them are included in the Revolver box set. I'm not complaining. You know, of 31 session tracks, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that we've heard before. So that's still 25 that we haven't heard before. So I'm okay with that. It's going to be a nice addition to any serious Beatle collector's catalog. I've got several versions of Revolver. The first one I've got is an original UK first pressing. This is a mono version. Unfortunately, the back's in a little kind of rough shape. Someone has colored in the name up there. The price was right. The record's in great condition, although the jacket's not. I'd like to find a better conditioned one at some point in time. But this is part of my Beatles UK mono first pressing collection that I'm working on. A holy grail of this record for me is actually the first day pressing of the first pressing. Does that make sense? The first day of production was changed. The master was changed because I guess they weren't happy with the mix on Tomorrow Never Knows. So there are several thousand copies of the very first day pressing out there. You can identify it by the matrix number. Now the matrix number is the number that's stamped in the dead wax just outside the label. On side 2 it would say 606-1. That means it's one of the limited first day first pressings. I'm on the lookout for one of those. They are on eBay. They're expensive, so I'm trying to find one at a price that I'm willing to pay. That was only the first day of production, and then they changed to 606-2, which is what this is. Still considered a first pressing, I guess, but it wasn't the first day of production. But anyway, this is my long way of saying this is my UK first pressing of Revolver. I have 2 Canadian first pressings because I'm in Canada. The mono version and the stereo version, and the only difference is stereo says stereo right there. It looks just like the American version because it is the same as the American version. While really good, it's actually not the same as the UK version of the album. His Capitol was still monkeying around with substituting some tracks. It wasn't until Sgt. Pepper that what came out in North America was the same as in England. UK releases had 14 tracks typically, and American ones had typically 10 or 11. So there's a few less tracks. On side 1, the North American pressing is missing I'm Only Sleeping. And on side 2, it's missing And Your Bird Can Sing and Dr. Robert. So while the North American version is okay, the UK version, in my mind, far superior. It's a different mix, and the track listing is as the band had intended it to be. But other than that, I mean, they look the same. It also has the Capitol label down here as opposed to Parlophone. But you know, my Canadian first pressings. Then I've also got on CD, the only version I have on CD. This is the 2012 stereo remaster. I didn't do the 2012, or I guess on CD, this was 2009. I didn't do the 2012 stereo vinyl pressings. I waited till 2014 and did the mono pressings, which is what this is. This is the one that I play. I have my originals, obviously, but this obviously is in better condition than my original UK pressing. So this is the one that I play. This sounds incredible. I'm interested to hear the Giles Martin stereo mix on the new box set. I don't know that I'm going to be able to tell the difference that much. I often am not, admittedly, I'm not that great at picking out the subtle differences, but I'm looking forward to it nonetheless. I'm looking forward to the discs of studio outtakes that are on there. For that album in particular, because I think the songs were sort of the most inventive, while the stuff they did on Sgt. Pepper was much more experimental. I'm really looking forward to seeing the works in progress on that. There's my quick look at my copies of Revolver and my thoughts on the upcoming Super Deluxe box set. That's all I've got today. Let me know what you think about Revolver. Are you excited about the new upcoming Super Deluxe box set? Is that something you're going to be buying? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the flip side. Bye.